If we think about it, the story of the two disciples on the way to Emmaus, escaping Jerusalem, is not so different from the story that most of us have known probably several times. Their story is that they had great hopes when they went to Jerusalem that Jesus would reestablish the kingdom of Israel. He was the one, and everything would just be glorious there. But they found out that what they expected did not come about. Instead, Jesus was arrested, he was tortured, he was hung on a cross, he died, and they put him in a tomb. More than disappointing, it was devastating. And then they found out that someone said, well, he's been raised from the dead, and that was unheard of. So they were going back to Emmaus thinking, let's get out of here. We're leaving this place. It's a place of pain and suffering for us and great devastation. We're leaving Jerusalem. We're out of here. Well, I suspect most of us have had periods in our lives, things that have happened that have at least been disappointing, if not discouraging, if not, in fact, devastating. And the things that we were hoping for, just didn't come about. I was hoping to marry the perfect spouse. Then I find out that he wasn't. What happened? Now we're fighting about even silly things. I'm going to enter the religious life. And in the religious life, everyone will treat themselves with perfect Christian love. I'll laugh at that one. You don't know that part. I do. We do our best, but, we're human. And not only that, it can sometimes get to the point of saying, I think I want out of here. And there are other things like the job that you're in. It's like, I was hoping for this other job because I can't stand this one, it's killing me. Or I'm hoping that my loved one would get better, but they're not, they're getting worse, and it looks like we have to talk about hospice. Or I was really trying to change this person, and it just isn't working. And we want to walk away, discouraged and disappointed. And we're out of here. And we too tend to try to avoid those things, those situations which are painful and just aren't working for us. I remember there was a place I lived once that I'd go away for a couple of days, I'd come back and my gut would just start turning. You ever had that? Yeah, it's like, okay. All right, that's one part of it. Another part of it is that as the disciples were walking along, they had to tell their story. They had to tell their story, not just to complain, not just to gripe, but so that they could come on to understand it. They were confused, disappointed, and devastated. They didn't know what to think anymore. So if you hear someone complain about something for 3 years, okay, now that might not be good. But if you hear someone saying they're really struggling with it and trying to understand what's going on and what they can do about it, that's something else. They had to tell their story from their point of view, and so do we. And as you saw, Jesus, although they didn't know that, Jesus was walking with them and he said, tell me about it. Well, obviously he knew. But he said, you tell me about it. Get it out. And once we get it out, we can take a look at it and try to come to some kind of understanding of it, try to come to terms with it. So I just let them talk. And so do we need to talk, just to get it out so that we can look at it. We probably need to be careful about who we're talking to. A trusted friend, someone who will understand and just let it go without judgment. Say, yeah, I'm with you in this. I understand. And maybe can try to help us figure it out. That's part of why I go see my spiritual director. I get it out so that I can get a little different perspective, so that I can help understand. And then that's what Jesus did. He said, okay, that's what you think. It's from your perspective, but let me tell you. You do not understand that the Messiah, the Son of Man, had to come, had to proclaim the good news that he would be arrested, he would be killed on a tree, and then he has to rise again. And it's like, wow. And don't we need to talk about it too? And in that talking, there even can be some healing. As long as you get somebody who doesn't judge. Okay? So we need to come to some understanding about it all. And the last part I'll talk about is that in the midst of it, they found that Jesus was with them the whole time. They didn't realize it. He was walking with them. He was listening to them. He's the one who spoke to them. He was there. And they recognized him in the breaking of the bread. And that would be a really good thing for us to recognize too. That Jesus, the risen Christ, no longer bound by his human body, is with us in all things. He wants to hear about it. There are some people I talk to who say, well, how do you pray? They say, well, I don't really pray. All I do is talk to God. I go, like all day? Yeah, like all day. Sounds pretty good to me. Talk to God. And when I am most conflicted, when I am struggling most, I pull out my journal and I just write stuff down. I got to get it out. Does God already know it? Yes, he does. But when we say it to God, then we open our hearts to him. We let it out, and there's room for him to come in. Lets us out. We let it out, he comes in. And so that we can come to understand what's going on and hear his word touch our lives. Especially to know that he understands. He has a good word for us. Sometimes it comes through other people. Sometimes it comes through the scriptures. Sometimes it comes just in the quiet of our hearts, or even through a song. Recently, that's been one of my favorite ways. Some songs I just go to kind of speak to my heart. And over all this, it's that we come to know that Christ is with us. He is with us in all things. And if that's what we take away from here today, I think that'll be enough. As Christ walked with those disciples, so he walks with us, and we might not even recognize him, but he's there. Open our eyes and open our hearts. See how Christ is there for us. And I'm going to end this with a song that just kind of, those words speak to it. We'll sing it. It's a short song. We're going to sing it 3 times. If you know it, sing along. Maybe by the 3rd time you'll catch on. If not, I don't care. Let it bathe over you. Let it sink into your heart. It speaks about the presence of Christ in our life. Christ behind me, Christ before me, Christ under my feet. Christ above me, Christ within me, let all around me be Christ. Christ behind me, Christ before me, Christ under my feet. Christ within me, Christ within me, let all around me be Christ. Christ behind me, Christ before me, Christ under my feet. Christ above me, Christ within me, let all